I had a really fun time yesterday doing a time trial, which I haven't done in a long time, and I can't wait to tell you about it tonight, and kind of do a little bit of a deep dive into it, see how I did, see how I might be able to improve, and see and take a look at how this is going to impact my view of my fitness at this point and moving forward. All right, so we're out here Saturday morning, and we're gonna get in a little time trial. So probably have to interrupt it at some point, but I'm gonna try to see how fast I can do 10 miles. So, and then hopefully get over to our lacrosse game before in time. So anyway, so I'm gonna do it here. No real goals. I'm just gonna try to go as fast as I can. I've got my setup here, got a banana and my Tailwind water bottle with Tailwind drink mix in it. Going with Colorado Cola today, my favorite flavor that Tailwind offers. So one of my favorites. There's a couple of good ones, but all right, so let's do it. Loop-de-loop today. 1 mile loops in the neighborhood, going 10 loops for 10 miles. Let's see how we can do. All right.
I'm a one-to-one, I could never be you. Low me tools, no I can't be fooled. Low me tools, no I hate these dudes. I'm a one-to-one, I could never be you. Anything you could do, I could do better. I can do better than you. Anything you could do, I could do better. I can do better than you. Drop my first single, let go, he rap. You thought it was a drought, that's cap. I get the front and I get the back. Lil Uzi the facts, like that's a rack. Bought some new boots just to wear 'em out. Bought a new Beamer, I run it to the ground. I used to say nothing, I bet they hear me now. Handle my business, no need to hear me out. Talking too much, say less. If it's less than the check, say less. If you can say it best, say less. I'm taking all best, say less. Talking too much, say less. If it's less than the check, say less. If you can say it best, say less. I'm taking all best, say less. I'm a one-to-one, I could never be you. Low me tools, no I can't be fooled. Low me tools, no I hate these dudes. I'm a one-to-one, I could never be you. Anything you could do, I could do better.
Wow. Great workout. I like my time. I'm proud of that sub 8. I know that for some that's like an easy day, but for me, I'm very, very happy with sub 8 miles for 10. Doing pretty good. Got a little, I guess you could call it a hitch in my step. My hips hurt me a little on the left side, but I'm gonna go stretch it out. It's not surprising. I may need to get another pair of Nova Blast though. I think the 400 miles has worn out the midsole a little bit. So, hey, hope your training's going well, and we'll catch up with you later in the basement. Welcome back, everybody. Dan the UltraDad here. Hope everything's going well for you on this wonderful Sunday evening. So we are here in Ohio, making the best of what we have. Actually, we had a wonderful weekend of weather. It was a lot of fun yesterday in the sunshine doing this time trial, and so I'll get into that in a couple minutes. But before I do, just wanted to say thank you very much for subscribing to my channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, definitely hit that subscribe button. Hit the like thumbs up as well if you like this video, and hit the bell notification if you'd like to be notified of future videos when they come out. So with that out of the way, let's get into this 10-mile time trial that I did yesterday. So I was kind of trying to figure out, just trying to get creative with my training a bit, wanted to do something a little bit different. I was thinking I needed to do a long run, but because of some family obligations, I did not have all the time in the world yesterday. So mostly due to lacrosse, which was so much fun. I really had a great time. I would have had footage for it to show you, but my SD card was out of my camera when I brought it to the game, so unfortunately I don't. But I will have some footage about the lacrosse team and how they're doing and how my son's doing at some point in the near future. But anyhow, so I had limited time to figure out what I was going to do for my training day yesterday for my long run. What I decided to do was to do a 10-mile, all out, if you want to call it that, time trial to try to see how fast I could run 10 miles and just to kind of get a baseline of fitness right now. It was on February 27th. Today is February 28th, and tomorrow is March 1st. So March 1st is the beginning of spring in my mind. I know technically it's not, but whenever I think of March, I think of spring, and so we are kind of through the winter, and I'd like to know kind of how I've done this winter as far as staying in shape, because now we're starting to turn it up. The weather's going to be much better. We're going to be getting out more. It's going to be a more intense part of the training here coming up, and I'd like to see kind of where I'm starting from. So like I said, kind of a baseline of fitness. I did the 10-mile time trial, and going into it, I'll be honest, I was a little bit nervous. I'm not a speed guy. I think I have a little bit left in the tank. I'm not that old, but at the same time, it's a little nerve-wracking. So I'm much more about distance, and so I wanted to kind of mix it in and just test myself with this time trial. So the 10-mile time trial, and how did I get 10 miles? It's just a round number. I just kind of picked it out of thin air, honestly. I didn't get it from anywhere really. I've been seeing a lot of YouTube videos about time trials, but usually it's for shorter distances, so it's a little different. As I am the UltraDad, I figured I would throw in a little bit of a longer distance, so that's why I picked 10 miles, and just kind of wanted to see how I did. So we're going to get into it in a minute, but definitely down in the comments of this video, let me know if you've ever tried a time trial, if you have tried anything like this, and what your experience was. I'd love to hear from you. Part of the reason I like doing this channel is because of all the interaction that we have in the comments, and I get to kind of meet each of you and hear about your training, and it's encouraging to me, and quite frankly, it gives me some accountability. So definitely go down in the comments and tell me about your time trials. I'd love to hear about it, and I do try to read and respond to every comment, so please do so. All right, so let's get right into it. I'm going to do a little bit of a screen record. We'll get into Strava. So that's where I keep track of my training. I don't know, and also down in the comments below, mention what do you use for your for keeping track of your training. I find that Strava is very useful. It's pretty cheap generally on a monthly basis if you're going to pay for a membership. I can't really remember. I know there's different types of memberships with Strava, but I think it's a few bucks, maybe like $4 or $5 a month. So for me, it's worth it. I think you can still do a free membership as well. So I love Strava. I think it's a pretty cool. I don't like Facebook very much, so it's kind of like the Facebook for athletes, and I love it. There's a lot of plenty of comments. Everyone's usually very fair. So I really like Strava. It's just great. So anyway. So let's take a look here at the 10-mile time trial, which was yesterday. I started about 10:22 a.m., and I do believe it was in the 40s. I think it got up to close to 50 by the end of it. Just absolutely perfect weather for a time trial for any running, period. It was great. Really enjoyed it. So overall, the distance was 10.03 miles. I did a 7:54 per mile average pace, which I was very happy with. That was my goal, was to get under 8 minutes average across the 10 miles per mile. So 7:54, it says moving time was 1 hour, 19 minutes, 22 seconds. Elevation gain, that's negligible, 433 feet. Honestly, that has to be off. There's no way that's how much I got. This is in my neighborhood, so it's very flat. There is a gradual hill on one of the halves. It goes for about maybe 1/8 of a mile, but I mean it's nothing much. 433 feet. That's shocking to me. Maybe I guess over 10 miles. I don't know. Average power. I'm not a power runner, but it says 306 watts, and 1,149 calories, certainly a total, and I burned that much, I guess. That sounds about right. So I was running in my A6 Nova Blast and using my Coros Apex watch, which is still going strong. I love it. If you're interested in a watch and you haven't checked out the Coros Apex, I did a full review and I did a review after 1,500 miles of use. So definitely click the link above if you want to watch those videos. So looking on down to the splits, looks like I did a 7-minute and 22-second first mile pace, 7:49, 7:45, 8:21, 7:31, 8:33, 7:46, 8:49, 7:32, 7:36, and you see there on the screen. You know what? Let's pause for a second, and I want to explain that to you a bit. So some of those, I don't really believe I ran many miles in the 8-minute range. I think it was all sub 8. I might have borderline on one of those or two of those miles, but I was not running 8:20, 8:30. Let me tell you what I did. So instead of just running 10 miles straight, I decided every 2 miles I would take a very brief, like 15 to 20 second stop, and I would get some of my tailwind, refill on that, and take a bite out of a banana. So that was kind of my theory. My strategy was I would make sure I was hydrated and had the nutrition going. And it really did work out well. Sometimes I've noticed on my 10-mile runs, I get kind of, I don't know, I just get really, like, I can tell that I'm calorie deficient and I need something to help give me a boost. So that's what I did. And so each of those stops was no more than 10 or 15 seconds, but I think that's why those mileage minutes per those paces on those miles. Let's see. So it was I guess mile 2 wasn't too bad, but mile 4, 8:21, mile 6, 8:33, mile 8, 8:49. So on those 2, 4, 6, and 8, I took that little break. So that kind of makes sense why those paces seem a little bit slower. The only stop I made for about 3 minutes was I got a phone call from my mom, and I love Mom. She watches these videos. Hey, Mom, what's up? So I got a quick phone call because I needed to figure out some childcare stuff, and so I did get that phone call, and it took about 3 minutes. So I took a little break at mile. I think I was like 2 to 3 miles in. It was just over 5K. So I did paused my watch for that 3-minute break, but the rest of them I did not pause. So it just kind of factored into my pace. Each of those 2-mile breaks, 15, 20-second breaks, factored in and were included in the run. So anyway, looking at the splits, I was very happy with that. Looking at the heart rate, if you care about that, I mean, I do care about my heart rate. I don't mean to make it sound like that, but it's just my heart rate. The watch, first of all, I'm not sure how accurate the heart rate is. Relatively speaking, it was, pretty moderately high, which I expect because I was going a little faster than I normally would be. So, looking at my heart rates in the 160s on average, yeah, that makes sense to me. But who knows? It could have been 170s. Hopefully not. That's pretty high for me. I don't know. Maybe, who knows exactly, but it certainly was a moderate to high heart rate throughout. So I was working pretty hard. So let's go back up to let's take a look at matched runs. That's one of the things I love about Strava. You can take a look and see how you've done comparably to other runs of similar distance or similar effort. It gives you the dates of those runs. So looks like when I've gone this distance, I don't run 10 miles. Well, actually it matched. Each of these are about 10, so maybe I've run this distance. I've done this kind of more than I thought I have. So I ran it pretty fast. Actually, that looks like it's a personal best for that distance. So you can see hour 19 minutes and hour 19 minutes, and then looks like an hour and 34 back in October of last year, hour 42. Wow. So if you look at my effort, compare, like, relatively speaking to my other times I've done 10-mile runs, this was the best one I've done in the past couple of years. I didn't know that. Okay, so good job me. So, and I was pushing it as hard as I could. And I held back a little bit. Like, I wasn't pushing so hard. I knew I would, throw up or something like that. But which I've done that before, so I know kind of where that line is. But I did try to push it to as far as I could without hurting myself, and without having any major issues. So I'm pretty happy with that. All right, well, those are my matched runs. Workout analysis. Not really sure what this does. Lap details. Okay, so you can look at that. I've not really used that a whole lot. Yeah, so it says cloudy, 45 degrees. Feels like 40. Yeah, well, I don't know. It didn't feel like 40 to me. It felt like 50 maybe. It was really nice. I don't know why it says humidity 89%. It seemed like it was pretty dry out there. But I tell you what, the weather was just perfect for a run like this. It was really nice. So, all right, let's talk about post run. So after the run, I did have some pain in my left hip that definitely didn't feel great, but it went away pretty quickly. I did do some stretching. I think that that's something I'm very bad with, and I've been terrible with in the past, is stretching. That went away pretty quickly. I don't feel it now at all. Overall, I'm not feeling super sore at this point. It just was a successful day, a great time trial. I'm very happy with the results. I think I'm going to do this again in the future, maybe even, in a month or two, to see how I'm doing, and see if I can, reproduce these results and improve. That'd be great. I hope you're doing well with your training. I hope that you might have some advice for me if you have any questions or concerns. Hopefully not too many concerns, but if you have any questions or advice or thoughts about this 10-mile time trial, if you've done a time trial recently, feel free to let me know how you've done and how it's gone. I'd love to hear it, and be fun to have some people along the way as we're working towards our goal. Thanks again for watching. Once again, hit the subscribe button, hit that like, thumbs up, and if you want to see future videos from me, hit that bell notification as well. Take care, stay strong, and we'll catch you in the next one.